Okay, you can see the formation where they're dropping. It's pretty obvious. Look at that. Large amounts of chemicals all over the sky. Chemtrails that they've dropped this morning and last night. So you might think, well, those aren't chemtrails. Those are already being dispersed. You got to get out here when you see the planes. It affects your breathing. I mean, I never really noticed it, but it does affect your breathing. There's a school right there. There's a school. And there's our gardens right here. These are our gardens. There's a military base nearby. But even if there's not a military base, there's still vast amounts of chemtrails all over the place for radar. Okay, I'm just coming out of my house to show my wife about what I think is chemtrails. And you think, well, yeah, it's just clouds. Oh, it's no big deal. So you just look over here and you think, oh, that's interesting. Oh, it's just some clouds. Huh. Well, this is a state of displacement after it's fallen for a while. But if you look at it, there's linear formations of the cloud dusting. Now take a look over here. You think, oh, that's interesting. So let's just make our own observations here. Okay, just a minute. Now let's take a look over here. Ha! Ha! Wow, what is that? Why is that there? Why is that over there? My, well, that's very interesting. What is, oh, look at this here. It's also getting a rainbow off of it right above us. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, now, you see that right above us? And look at the 90-degree angle over here. Anyway, if you come down, oh, you look through there. Okay, let's go over here to the garden. Okay, now we're going to walk over to the garden. Oh, here's one big one right here. Right there used to be a line. Look at those. 1, 2, 3. There's another one right there. Okay, so let's go take a look in the garden. I'll show you something interesting. Another view. Another view. New one right now being dropped right now. Look at that right there. Yeah. It's being dropped right now. Look at it. Straight ahead, Jimbo.
The rainbow?
No, the chemtrail. Straight ahead. Look at the plane moving about 300, 400 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That is a fresh chemtrail.
Yeah. That's military. But you know what, Alice? How many people pay attention to that airplane?
Nobody. Exactly.
1 out of 1,000,000.
Yesterday?
There were more of the chemtrails.
Yesterday?
And there was about 4 of them right here, several miles long. And they kept getting thinner, but wider and wider and wider. And then there were a series of hundreds of rainbows. The chemtrail is like this, but the rainbows are going this way. Across all the way along, and the chemtrail was really, really wide. Really super wide.
There's one right now being made.
Yeah, you
it
can
came
see
from
it.
the horizon, and then you see it coming all the way up through here. This is fresh.
Yeah.
Right now.
You can see the airplane.
You can see the airplane, the X of the airplane. See it?
But there were hundreds and hundreds of rainbows. Hundreds of rainbows along the chemtrails. It was such a beautiful sight.
Yeah, well, the reason is it refracts light.
Well, yeah, and there's moisture in them babies.
And there's moisture in there, and that refracts light. Okay, so, oh, look at over the top of us. Babe, look!
Yeah.
They're dropping chemicals on us. I'm not talking about a conspiracy here. It's the military. That is so obvious right there.
That's military. But you know what, Alice? How many people pay attention to that airplane?
Nobody. Exactly.
1 out of 1,000,000.
Yeah.
Nobody's paying any
They were
attention to
thinking
that.
that's on their display or.
They're too
passenger.
busy trying to survive.
Yeah.
And all the military wants
Look at over the
is
top,
they drop
Jimbo.
those chemicals
Ernie, look.
because it makes their...
You have to see this because this is very graphic. You see it? This is different than an eclipse.
Yeah, that's deliberate. Look at how long that trail is. And then it spreads out. And see how wide that one is, Oz?
Yeah.
This one over here.
This
I've been I've been studying this for over an hour this morning. I've also been studying the brain and the
Look at him go. He's doing about 500 miles an hour or more. He is
very
moving
fast.
out.
Very fast.
Ah.
Oh my gosh! It's just right there for a few minutes.
Yeah, now he's way over there, less than a minute.
It's very fast.
Okay, they're all over the sky, and there's one right there being made.
And they do it just so that they can have better communication with their satellites. And they're, that was a raven.
Yeah, and
That's a raven. There he is. Right behind the maple tree, there he goes. That's a raven. Look at how huge that guy is.
That's bigger than a crow.
Oh, about 4 times.
That's bigger than a crow. See the bird?
He's almost as big as a seagull. And he's a loner. Generally there's one following that one. Because they generally always fly in pairs. They mate for life. So he's probably a fledgling. He's a young one. Probably this year's or last year's.
Okay, I'm going to run up front to get the last shot of this chemtrail. Well, there's that chemtrail. You saw the plane. All over the place. There it is, in front of our house. There's my house. The plane is still moving. Okay, looking at the chemtrails, such a thing. All right, so with conclusive evidence, all I gotta do is do a little soil sample, but we're around in an area where we get lots of them, and there ain't no question.
Wow, very fast, babe. Look.
There ain't no question they're dropping suspected aluminum, barium, and strontium. There's a few chemicals that they're picking up in California and in different cities. Okay. Shut her down.